Well, the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal situation in 2024 keeps taking more turns and getting more interesting as this year unfolds, because you might remember we just talked about yesterday in a video that the Nintendo Direct presentation that was heavily rumored for the month of April, coming from the same source that did accurately, or at least seemingly accurately, report the internal delay of Nintendo Switch 2 hardware being set to launch now in early 2025, as opposed to the previous plan, which was late 2024, as many publications, Bloomberg, VGC, Eurogamer, amongst others, all picked up the story and ran with it after a user by the name of Brazil over on Family Boards went out and said that that's what he was hearing from his sources. And now we have some official comments from Nintendo that they will not be attending a major gaming event in 2024, where last year this event was actually a big talking point around developers learning some of the targeted PC specs, or essentially being shown a tech demo of what Nintendo Switch 2 will essentially be capable of, with things like DLSS intact, claims of this hardware being shown behind closed doors, running things like the Matrix Awakening demo, arguably looking better with its ray tracing and ray reconstruction abilities than even what it did whenever it was being shown for the PS5. Doesn't mean it's more powerful than PS5, but you get the idea. There's some extra tricks up Nintendo's sleeves that they're going to be implementing with this hardware, such as AI upscaling, and claims of Breath of the Wild being run in 4K with minimal to no load times in the game whatsoever. And the event in question is none other than Gamescom 2024, and Nintendo's official confirmation that they will not be attending this event, and what this actually could tell us about their broader timeline of when they might reveal Switch 2, because if you were somebody who was hoping for some kind of June reveal, that doesn't look the most likely to me anymore, and we're going to unpack why. Before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here. And I want to first kick off this conversation by hopping over to VGC and reading through their exact detailed typed up article together. Nintendo won't be attending Gamescom 2024. The company is expected to launch its next-gen console in early 2025. Nintendo has reportedly confirmed that it won't be attending Gamescom 2024. In a statement issued to German publication Gameswirtschaft, a German name there, a spokesperson for the company said it would not be an exhibitor at this summer's event. VGC has contacted Nintendo for confirmation and additional comment. Gamescom 2024 organizers have yet to announce the exhibitor list for the show, which is scheduled to take place in Cologne, Germany from August 21st through the 25th. Nintendo attended last year's Gamescom as an exhibitor. According to VGC sources, the company also used the event to show off tech demos for Switch 2 behind closed doors. VGC had reported in February that Nintendo had internally delayed the launch of its next-gen console from this year to early 2025. One publishing source suggested the delay was so that it could prepare stronger first-party software for the console, while others have claimed that the move was made to avoid potential hardware supply issues. Okay, so first off, the claim that a Nintendo Direct wouldn't be happening in April already kind of had me very shaky about any kind of June potential reveal date, because the same source that was saying that they heard April Direct information was also the only real source that we had that was suggesting that a June reveal date was planned for the console. And clearly, if one event got moved and maybe that April information was old info for the Direct, why would you not assume that would also impact something like a summertime reveal? This could have all been old info, pre-delay confirmation from Nintendo to their third-party devs. And my thought process is, if Nintendo was to reveal the console over the summertime, especially in June or July, they're going to show up with likely some kind of in-person demo or hands-on look, or at least showcase it in some way at one of the biggest gaming conferences of the year. Arguably the biggest one now, since we don't have E3 anymore, and Summer Games Fest hasn't really built itself up to be a massive global attraction, kind of like Gamescom has. So not saying Gamescom is the biggest event in the world, but it definitely is the biggest of the summer nowadays with no E3. And you would assume that if Nintendo had already officially revealed and talked about their next gen hardware, it would be a high likelihood that they would show up in some way, shape, or form to market that at this event, maybe even let you preview games that we should hopefully see as part of the reveal trailer or event or whatever Nintendo holds for this thing. And I guess if you just want to use logic and reason, it does make that much more sense that we probably wouldn't see a June reveal to begin with, because the original claim was that they had some kind of reveal planned in March. That was coming from Nate the Hate, prior to all of these internal delay reports. Well, it was supposed to be a March reveal when it was still going to be a late 2024 launch. So considering that the delay is essentially like a 6-month time frame. If you think about it, if it was going to be fall 2024 and now it's like early spring 2025, that's going to be March timeframe, well then you would actually assume that the console was maybe internally delayed by a full 6 months, which means probably Nintendo's reveal timeline would also be delayed by that 6 months, leading me to believe that maybe the copy paste situation for the original Nintendo Switch reveal is actually going to be in play here, where an October trailer, a first look at Nintendo's next-gen hardware, is what drops, and then early in March of 2025 is when the console will actually launch. That means for us Nintendo Switch fans, with the first-party software lineup that we know of so far, it is going to be very bare bones for Nintendo fans for a while. Now, it's already feeling like a long time to get to the June time Nintendo Direct, where we can at least learn about some new games that are coming our way for the current Switch, and we do have Pokemon Legends ZA that we know to be an early 2025 launch, or I guess we don't know it to be early 2025, to be fair. You would kind of assume they might pull a repeat of what they did with Legends Arceus and launch it as the January game for 2025, but that is not guaranteed, so we will actually have to wait and see on that. We also haven't seen gameplay of that game in any way, shape, or form yet, whereas we did see gameplay of Legends Arceus when it was revealed, so a lot of debate on that particular front, but we expect that to be a Nintendo Switch game because the Pokemon Company likes to sell to an existing large user base and not necessarily be the first to go on a brand new console. It may indeed have a very upgraded version of it available shortly after the Switch 2 launches, but that's going to be the early 2025 game. And if Metroid Prime 4 maybe can make it to the finish line for holiday 2024, that could be our big end of the year game, and everything else seems like it will probably be a simpler project in Nintendo's wheelhouse until we get to the next gen console. Talking more ports and remasters, Metroid Prime 2 and 3, maybe Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD finally make it over, and that very well could be what we're looking at for the most part of software releases towards the end of the Nintendo Switch's hardware generation, because delaying your next console 6 months actually has a lot of implications when we've had as consistent of a release schedule for Nintendo first party software as we have within the Nintendo Switch's generation. And it makes me just hope that we see a June Direct happen at all. I can't imagine Nintendo going almost an entire year without communicating with their fans from a first party perspective, but anything's on the table this year, because saying we are in uncharted territories is an understatement, so we really have to wait and see from Nintendo and all of this stuff to get an official confirmation. But I want to hear from you guys at this point in the video what you make of the reports that Nintendo will not be attending Gamescom 2024. Are you like me and you're kind of feeling like that more or less says that summertime reveal for Nintendo Switch 2 will not be happening and it may be October 2024 at the soonest? Or do you think that there is a chance that Nintendo is just planning their own big event in the summer and they don't want to cross promote with major industry events, which, to be fair, they typically don't play by the rules of anybody else except for E3 they were always a part of historically? So do you think it's not really a big deal that they're not showing up this year, as Gamescom, to be fair, they've had an off and on history with, but normally if they have something big they want to promote, they're there? And finally, what first party Nintendo games do you think we will see released through the rest of 2024 and into 2025, assuming that their next gen console won't be out until early next year? So regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today, I do look forward to hearing from you all in the comments down below before you leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around these topics. Go watch the video on screen next if you haven't already. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.